It is mystery box time, and I can't wait to bust this box open. If you are new to the mystery box, this is put together by Courtney over on Creative on the Cheap. Every other month, she grabs a group of us to send each other some boxes of goodies that we need to craft with. And this time I got my box from Melanie over on Simple Made Pretty. She is the queen of doing shorts on YouTube right now, and she creates some really fun ones. She's also really big over on Instagram. You guys, if you haven't checked her out, you need to make sure that you do. And I can't wait to see what she has sent me, because you know, whatever she sent me, I get to use to create something with, plus throw in a few of my things to help me out. And there's going to be some challenge items. I'm terrified. Not only do we have our challenge items, but we also have a twist where we need to use a pipe cleaner and a clothespin in the same project. Not sure what I'm going to do with those two things yet, but keep your eyes out. They will appear somewhere in the video. Who knows where? I sent my box to Jay over at J Munee, and you know you're going to have a good time when you go and see what she creates with all the things I sent her. So I'm going to link both Melanie's and Jay's channels below, as well as the entire playlist. Now let's dive on in and see what Melanie sent me from Dollar Tree. But we're starting with a card. Hey Jennifer, I'm so excited to join the mystery box and see what you create with these items. Have fun, Melanie. Yay! Right away, we have some air-dried clay. I'm not gonna lie, I've actually played with this before, tried it, without much luck. But I am determined to make it work, and you are gonna come along for this journey with me. I can't wait. Let's get to it. To start off with, you do want to make sure you have some water, or I'm going to take a little bit of water and the clay, mix it together and have a silt. This is going to help you smooth some of your edges and combine some pieces. After I had this mixture combined, then I took some of the clay and I rolled it into balls, because you can't tell, we are going to make some snowmen. Now, I am not going to pretend I'm the expert on this, because by far I have so much to still learn. So if you have any suggestions for me, please leave those for me in the comments below. So one of the best things about YouTube are all the things you can learn. And I learned if you want two pieces of clay to stick together, you want to score them. And thank goodness I learned that, because I had two pieces I needed to stick together. I'm going to link below some of the videos I watched, because by all means, I am not the expert here. I am a novice. I am learning, but I definitely am having fun. And I really do love the finished product. So hang tight so you can see the whole process. I picked up this bag off at Amazon. I have an entire snowman room, so this might be a little excessive if you don't love snowmen as much as I do, but I kind of love them because it comes with all the buttons. It comes with hats and noses for two different sizes snowmen, and that other little bag that I just pulled out actually has little caps for them to wear as well. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Something that's important to do when you're combining two pieces is to really take the time to combine them well, and that's what the silt is for. It's to help you to smooth them out, combine them. You may need to go in with some extra clay to help you do that. I'm telling you all this because you're going to find out pretty soon that I probably did not spend enough time on this. So I have a plan B. Once the snowman is all done, then you can go ahead and add your nose, your arms. Now, the arms that come with the kit were a little bit long, so I'm using some miter shears to trim those down. Because this wasn't white, I pulled everything out and plan to put them in after, because I want white snowmen, not cinnamon colored snowmen. But you will find again, because I pulled them out, I do have a plan B. The last thing that this snowman needed was something on his belly, and I decided that the best thing to do would be to use some clay to do it. So for the larger snowman, I went in with 3 little balls and kind of pressed them down more like a button on his belly. And for the smaller one, I actually just did 2. Now do remember, you want to do that little cross sectioning, or that cross scoring, before you apply 2 pieces together, so that you can have that best adherence. Then you just want to make sure that you give them plenty of time to dry. Now these did dry, and as you can see, my little guy did just fine, but my bigger one, his head did not fare so well. So here comes plan B. Just grab a little bit of super glue, glue that head on. He is good to go. Honestly, plan A would have been better, but plan B, it does the job. Now, I definitely wanted myself a couple of white snowmen, but here's the fun thing. You can paint them or leave them whatever color you want. Now, if you do use some white clay instead, you wouldn't even have to paint them. After the paint set in, because I did not leave in the nose and the arms, the clay as it dries, it kind of shrinks in, not kind of, it shrinks in. So the pieces did not fit in all the way. So using that good old super glue again to attach them, I did have to trim the arms just a little bit so they didn't look quite so long and lanky, but it did the job, and thankfully super glue for the win. I personally feel like they needed a little bit of eyes, but I didn't want them to be too big. I'm actually using a Cricut tool to help me just give them little dashes of black. To finish these off, I just used some scrap fabric as a scarf, and then I grabbed 2 of those hats out of that kit that I showed you earlier and super glued those on. I think that these turned out super adorable. I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm not gonna lie. Few hiccups here and there. Definitely an improvement over anything I have tried in the past, and I am really excited to have these among all my other snowmen this Christmas. So at this point, I am feeling pretty brave, and I wanted to attempt another air dry clay project. So I'm taking some popsicle sticks, taping them together to help me roll out my clay evenly. Now, to roll out my clay, if you can tell, I don't have necessarily proper tools, nor do I think you actually have to have them. I'm just using some paint can, and I think that works perfectly fine for this. So I think as a beginner, you really should look for the tools you have around your home and use those first. This is the point where if you wanted to add any texture, you could lay something on it and then take your roller, roll it in, and then remove that item. Then cut your clay whatever shape it is that you want. You can do what I'm doing, which is use cookie cutters, or you can use like an X-Acto knife and go around a shape. At this point, you need to remove any of the excess clay that is around your shape, and then this is where things started to take a little bit of a turn for me. First, my shapes were stuck, so that wasn't helpful, and I was trying to figure out how to get them up as best as I could. But I did. I got them up and I got them onto something else so they wouldn't stick again. I let them dry. Once they dried, the angel didn't fare quite as well. The tree turned out pretty okay. I was fine with it. I went ahead, I painted it. After I got it painted, I decided I needed to go ahead and use a few more items from the box. Okay, we have some ribbon. Always love me some good, I was trying to undo it. I can't. Okay, here we go. Maybe. Okay. We have some ribbon. I love me some good ribbon. I can use ribbon just about every day. Excited about that. Not gonna lie, never can I say no to some good little jingle bells either. And they're gold, which honestly is my favorite. So I took a couple of those jingle bells and I tied them to the end of the ribbon. And this is where things went south. I pushed it through the Christmas tree, and as I'm tying things, my tree broke. What I learned is first, super glue is a great little fixer, and second, that I wish I would have rolled out my clay even thicker and made this sturdier and possibly even allowed it to dry slower than what it did. So trust me, please watch something else for the actual way to work with clay, as I am still learning, but I still think I saved it. It turned out really pretty and it is fun. So if you've never tried to work with clay before, just try it. It's always fun to try new things. Okay, that might have been me being a little excited. She sent me wood stems. I swear, I could not find these. For the longest time in store, I started to think that Dollar Tree stopped carrying them. I am just so happy that they are in the store again because these are so good. I love these. For this project, you are going to need to use Dollar Tree's wooden stems as well as Dollar Tree's bamboo ring. Now, you're going to want to use a smaller one. It comes in a pack of 2 like this, so just pull out that smaller ring. From here, you just start placing your stems inside of the wooden ring. It's going to be a little bit like a puzzle. You want to get the best fit, so you may have to move them around a few times. You also want to make sure that you have something underneath them. Here, I'm using a silicone pad. You could also use a piece of wax paper, which honestly, for this, might be my preference. Once I had the bamboo ring filled up, I moved everything onto a metal pan covered in a piece of wax paper. Honestly, you can just start out with it on that. I think that would be the easiest thing to do. Here, I actually have some resin. I have the 2 parts that create the resin, the hardener and the resin itself. Now, you want to follow the instructions on whichever one you get. Mine is a 1-to-1 ratio. After you combine them, you do want to stir them. Generally, it's like 3 to 5 minutes to really combine them. Once you have completely stirred them, then you can go ahead and pour them. Now, I am going to tell you that this is going to leak out, so do not be scared. This is why you want to have the silicone mat, the wax paper down. It's going to leak out. You're going to press that bamboo ring down as far as you can to try not to get everything to leak out, but you are going to get some leakage. Evenly pour your resin over all of your stems, making sure that you cover up all of the edges. It is fine that it overlaps that bamboo ring and coats it. Don't worry about that. That actually is a good thing. Just make sure that you cover everything. Well, once you finish pouring your resin, then just set it aside to let it cure. Normally, they're about a 24-hour cure time. The resin will be hard, but you will be able to pull it right off of the wax paper. I did find that it peeled off the wax paper even easier than the silicone. That's why I said I like the wax paper over the silicone, and that would be just my preferred method. But go ahead and peel the resin off and then just end up with a bamboo ring and the stems. Now you can just trim the excess resin off. Just get really close to the bamboo ring. Use some heavy duty scissors like I am here, or even some tin snips to do that. And now you have yourself just a really beautiful, earthy, woodsy tray. I think this makes a beautiful candle holder. I really love it, and it looks so high end. If you're enjoying this video so far, give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. Okay, so we have some tags, and I am a sucker for some good tags. I just did a project with these exact tags. I will make sure to link that up in the eye for you so you can check that out. But I love Dollar Tree's tags. They have such good ones, and it's not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited to use these. So do you love tags as much as I do, or am I standing here alone? I decided to go in and use my Cricut to create a decal. But like I always say, you do not have to have a Cricut. If you have any artistic ability and you can use a Sharpie or a couple Sharpies, paint, whatever you want, this is a really simple idea here. All I'm doing is a little circle with a Santa's hat that says days until Christmas with a ho ho ho. I don't ever think you can have enough countdowns to Christmas. And right now, let's just face it, there are too many days. Let's see what challenge items I got sent. I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Oh, okay. Just little mini cups, red solo cups, pack of 20. I don't think that's horrible. I can do something with that. Like, that's not bad. Am I the only one that thinks when things are small, they're always cuter? So not only are we going to use these cute little cups, but it is time to now use our twist. So we are starting off with this clothespin, and you are going to break it apart, flip the outside edges in, and use some super glue to glue them together. As for the pipe cleaner, we only need half of it, so go ahead and take some wire cutters, clip it in half, Then use a pencil, a pen, whatever you have, wrap it around to create a coil. And then here I have this little round piece. You can pick up these like in the little wooden craft area at like Hobby Lobby or something like that. I don't even know exactly what it's called. So the pipe cleaner is the perfect thing to use to give you some more surface area as you are gluing to attach this to the cup. So I'm using some super glue right now to glue that down to the cup and then to apply the clothespin into that hole. Now I'm filling in between all those holes with some hot glue so that there's no opening. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, the super glue was not the right choice. I end up going in later with some Elmer's glue. That was a better choice. So just skip the super glue altogether. Just use some Elmer's glue. Well, now if you can't tell, we have made a bell and it is time to paint it. Now I have chosen to go ahead and spray paint it because spray paint adheres to plastic really well. At least this is Rust-Oleum and Rust-Oleum does. And this is making a great primer for the next step. Well, the bell didn't hold up, so super glue finally had a job that it didn't fix. But I remembered as a kid, pipe cleaner and Elmer's glue, it worked. So just went into my kid's stash, grabbed the Elmer's glue, and that did the trick. If you're impatient like I am and you don't want to hold it while the glue dries, because I forgot that Elmer's glue takes forever to dry, just use a little hot glue to help you hold it, and that's even better. My goal was to make this look like the brass bell, and the best combination I found was taking a combination of black and gold paint, a little bit of them individually, and mixed together. That way you got that 3-color combination, and I'm just using a makeup sponge to apply it. And I think that this turned out beautifully. I've had this in my head for so long. I wanted to do it. You can't even tell the difference between this bell and my actual brass bells. I love this so much. Now let me show you how I got the sheet music that is below it. So this sheet music is a free printable. I'll make sure that I link it below, and I printed it up on cardstock. That is a key thing. Do not use copy paper because it will rip. To get the H look, I'm just using some paint and water. This is Waverly's chalk paint and truffle. I use quite a bit of water with just that little dab of paint. It's pretty thick. Mix that up, and then you're just going to take that cardstock and you're going to dip it into the paint. Make sure that you cover all of it and then lay it out. If you have some puddling of that, don't worry about it. The different coloration of the brown paint just really makes it look more authentic and real. I love the way it looks. I love when it puddles up just a little bit on the edges. It just looks so good. After it's dried some, you can go in with a mug and add in some rings by dipping it in and then placing it onto the paper. So that way it looks like someone's being a little bit sloppy, because you remember back then no one thought this was anything special. They would have just, placed their cup on it when they were drinking hot chocolate, tea, coffee, or whatever. One of the last things that you want to do is take a razor. Now I'm just using a box opener here, and you're just going to scrape away, being very careful with that blade so that you don't hurt yourself. And you're just really roughing up those edges. Now, it could rip a tiny bit here and there. Don't worry about it. Again, this is supposed to be old, so it's not supposed to be perfect. Because you're exposing a little bit more of that white cardstock, you do want to do one more dip to finish this off. And after you do that, just let it dry. You can leave it inside to dry or do what I did, let the sun help you out. This really does make, I think, the perfect layering piece to go along with the bells. I absolutely love this. Okay, so here is one of the items that I see this all of the time, and every time I see it, I swear I need to come up with something to do with it. This is the wood frame with the tin board inside, and you guys, I am so frustrated that I have not used one of these yet. So I am really excited to finally be forced to create with it. Thinking caps on, let's get creating. Okay, I am like super nervous. What are you gonna be? Oh, she was kind once. Can we be kind twice? What are you? Parchment paper. Okay. Okay. I can,
I can think of something with this too. You guys, I got some really fun things. I am so excited.
For this project, you are going to need 4 of these wood frame 10 boards, so I headed to Dollar Tree to pick up 3 more. Start by cutting all the way around the cardboard so that you can pop it out. Then very carefully bend the metal sheet so that you can pop it out, and be so careful because you definitely do not want to cut yourself on this. It would hurt so bad. Now it's time to take some parchment paper, and you are going to use a paper trimmer and trim your parchment paper so it's just slightly smaller than the frames themselves. So have you guessed what we're doing yet? If not, we are creating a lantern, but we do have a fun little twist coming with it in just a moment, so hang tight. You're going to take that parchment paper and you are going to hot glue it to the back side of each one of those frames, making sure that that parchment paper is nice and taut. Now I'm taking the hot glue and I'm applying it around the entire edge. You could do the 4 corners, but again, make sure that it is nice and taut or nice and tight. You don't want flappy parchment. At this point, you want to create a shape using the parchment paper. I'm going with a snowflake because I plan to use this for like Christmas into winter, but you can create any shape depending on when you think you will use this lantern. If you want to use it all year long, then you probably want to use a shape that would work for that. You could just use like circles or stars. It doesn't matter what shape you use. Just pick out a shape that you want because the silhouette that they provide, I think, is so pretty. Now, I have found that the best way to apply these is to use a spray adhesive. You just want to make sure that you really shake it up and that you are a good 8 inches away. You want to give them a light coat. Now, for really good adherence, you also want to make sure that you spray the parchment paper that is already hot glued to your frame as well, just in the area that you're applying the snowflake, or whatever shape you have chosen to use for your lantern. The last thing you need to do is just put your lantern together. I just use some hot glue along the sides and put all 4 frames together. After you do that, you have yourself a really cute lantern. I absolutely love the way this turned out. I think it looks really cute in the day. For the light, all I'm using is this little light or lamp from Dollar Tree. It's cordless. I love this. But the real show-stopping part of this is how it looks at night. I think is absolutely stunning. What do you think? If you are looking for more Christmas ideas, I have an entire playlist. Here are a couple of my absolute favorites. Don't forget, check the description box for the playlist for the Mystery Box Challenge, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!